They did finally identify the sixth officer, who is actually a white male, and he goes by the name of Officer Hemphill.
We're going to begin this hour in Memphis, Tennessee, with more fallout from the death of Tyre Nichols.
A sixth police officer has been relieved of duty following the release of body cam video and other videos of Nichols' traffic stop and arrest. Peaceful protests took place in cities across the country following the release of the footage. Prosecutors released the video after 5 of the officers were formally charged with civil rights attorney Ben Crump was on CBS Mornings earlier to discuss the precedent that these charges place.
Yo, what's happening? It's your man OG Bo Beats TV. Coming to you today, another special video. What's good? What's happening YouTube? It's your man OG Bo Beats, and I'm back with another video for you today. So today we're going to talk about the recent updates in the tragic situation involving Tyre Nichols, 29-year-old black male that was brutally beaten by a gang of police officers in Memphis. This happened back January 7th. If you don't know about it, I don't know how you couldn't, because it's all over everywhere. They just released a video a couple days ago, and now we got pandemonium going on across the country from protests. I heard a few incidents of some violence and things happening, but people protesting everywhere, sort of with like the George Floyd situation that happened back in 2020. So the initial news that came out was that basically 5 black officers had basically, pulled this guy over. And when they pulled him over, they, let me get to the picture. They basically yanked him out of the car. It was for supposedly excessive driving or speeding or something like that. And, the video shows, if you haven't seen the video, I'm not going to play it, but they really got on this guy. I mean, he was really, seemed like he was trying to cooperate, but he was resisting a little bit, mainly when they started, punching him, beating him, kicking him. At one point, he got away. They caught him again. It was a second beat down. He got beat so bad that he eventually died, and then here we are today. So initially, when it came out, everybody was glad that they basically relieved and arrested and charged the officers. Then we started to hear different things about, wow, they've never done this so fast and so swift. And then we started to get into a lot of the race conversation that people was having about, why don't they do this when it's white officers? They did this when it's black officers. So it's a lot of discussion and things to break down. So the latest update, though, however, is that they did finally identify the sixth officer, who is actually a white male, and he goes by the name of Officer Hemphill, right? So he can be seen in the video, but apparently his lawyer is saying he was only there for the initial arrest, and he wasn't there when all of the beating and all of that stuff happened. But I mean, he was there. And also, what a lot of people don't realize is he was actually relieved right after the situation happened, but nobody released his name, which is very odd. So it's a lot of different things going on in this case that make this situation very odd. There you go. You can see Officer Hemphill, and in the top left corner, you can see his hand when the guy is down. So I don't know. It seemed like he was there. His attorney is saying, he's cooperating with police. And, with the investigation that is, and, right now, as it looks, it seems he hasn't been charged. So that's causing a lot of issues on social media, and a lot of things is going on and being said as to why he wasn't charged. The other guys who are all charged with second-degree murder, I think it was, they've all bonded out, I think all except for one. So it poses a lot of questions. So, right off the back, I want to ask this question, and leave a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video. Is this issue here a police issue, or is this an issue about black and white? So On one hand, we know we've had a lot of situations that occurred in the last few years that have been highly publicized. George Floyd, situations in the other situation in Minnesota, and I mean the list goes on and on. We ain't gonna go back through all of those. And it's generally been a white cop on a black person that's caused uprise because we feel like it's unfair treatment. A lot of people feel like it's stereotype and bias, and we just not getting served by the law in the same way. On one hand, people feel like it's the police in general, and that it's the policing tactics and the way that they approach people, and it all needs to be defunded, abolished, and restructured. On the other hand, people feel like even the black officers that did what they did, they were a part of some unit called a Scorpion unit, which I think is like a gang unit. I mean, they down in Memphis. If you don't know, Memphis is pretty rough. So is it just the way people police? Does it matter if what color the officer is? If you're a black person, you're going to be targeted and stereotyped. A lot of people is looking at it that way. Of course, another question is, what took so long to release the identity of this person? This is almost exactly what people are saying, is like they released the identity, charged, and all of that stuff, the black officers, and then here we are, a person that's clearly in the video. His identity wasn't released until now. He was pretty much protected. He got his lawyer. Now he's cooperating with the investigation. He hasn't been charged also. So, I mean, what took so long for that? That's a question that a lot of people are waiting for the answer for. It's a sad situation altogether. This guy, Tyre Nichols, lost his life, 29 years old. It's a little bit of story behind that too. People are saying he possibly had a relationship with one of the officers' wife. I don't know how true that is, but none of that is justifying what happened and what they did to this guy. I don't see how it took 5 police officers, 6 police officers, the EMT, whoever was involved, to just subdue this one person. I don't see why it took them doing all of this punching and kicking. I mean, you had him handcuffed, throw him in the back of the car, so it's a crazy situation. Are these type of situations preventable? I think they are. You know what I'm saying? Yes and no. On one hand, if you complying and you remain calm, you still may have an interaction with a police officer that's not doing the right thing. Because remember, police officers are just people. They're not all the same. It's bad ones, it's good ones. So you can do the right thing sometime and it still end up bad for you, depending on what that person has going on. Is it always race involved and things of that nature? Not necessarily, right? It could just be the person really, having a bad day or being a bad individual that causes, crazy things to happen. On the other hand, it doesn't help if we don't comply, if we resist an arrest, if we're running from the police. Hey, if you didn't do nothing wrong or you feel you're being unjustly targeted or arrested, I would recommend to just go along with it as much as possible. Wait till you get to where you can call a lawyer, call a family, and get help. But because at the end of the day, they're going to call for backup. They're going to usually outnumber you, and there's really nothing you can do. So making it worse is not the right thing to do. However, the way that they treat you in that situation is hard to say. So I wouldn't even chance that if I was you. You know what I'm saying? That's to all the people out there, the young brothers and sisters. Just, if you feel like it's unfair, just let them do what they got to do. That way you can clear it up at the end and not have to go through anything that could be life threatening. All right. So yeah, this is a crazy situation, man. I think it's a lot more information that's gonna come out. We talking about the culture of policing. Memphis is crazy already, if you don't know. So I don't know how all of this plays a part in it, but just me watching things that go on in Memphis in the media and the news. You had a recent killings of a lot of rappers, most notably Young Dolph, and a lot of situations. So Memphis is a wild town. A lot of robberies going on. A lot of gang activity, a lot of shooting, a lot of carjacking. So I mean, I would expect the police to be a little bit extra, but not to the point where you beating one guy to his death, you know. And this guy apparently was a skateboarder. He wasn't even into no stuff like that. So that's crazy to even, you know, for it to go that far. You know, question also comes up is, even though these guys got arrested, will they actually be convicted? What do you think about that? I mean, you know, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think they're going to be charged because this is bad. A lot of people saying this is way worse than Rodney King and the George Floyd situation. And again, a lot of people saying they definitely know they're going to get convicted because of it being all black, you know, police officers that got charged with the crime. So I mean, it's a deep situation, man. I'm gonna play some more of this clip from the lawyer. Let's go ahead and listen to Benjamin Crump real quick and see what he got to say.
The fact that these 5 black police officers were terminated, arrested, and charged within 20 days from this tragedy is now the blueprint going forward. I mean, you can't tell us.
So right, he's saying basically now that they've actually done this swiftly and fastly, because we always calling for it, and they don't do it. In this situation, 5 black officers, they just happen to do it. This has got to be the standard moving forward, regardless of race, regardless of situation. This should be the standard moving forward. We got the body cam footage. It's right there in our face. We can obviously see that they was wrong for doing that much. That's very excessive, and the guy died. So what else do you need to see? But again, there's been other cases where people have died, and you know, we kind of had to wonder and ponder if they was going to actually arrest the person, let alone convict them.
Anymore that it takes 6 months or it takes a year. The police chief said it was important that the community saw swift action and that they moved swiftly to justice. And so we in our community say when white police officers kill us too, then we want to say it's important to the community also to see swift action and swift justice. This is the blueprint now going forward.
Let's bring in CBS News.
All right, so there you have it, man. I just wanted to let y'all know, give y'all an update, you know what I'm saying? And the 6th person that everybody was kind of calling for has been arrested. And we'll see what happens. I'm sorry, I keep saying arrested. He's been relieved. He hasn't been arrested. So we'll see what they do with him. You know what I'm saying? 5 officers already arrested. 4 of them bonded out. You know what I'm saying? Tyre, Nichols. Unfortunate situation. Very sad. Very tragic. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't watched the video, I wouldn't even go watch it, man. It's not even something you want to see. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about it, man. Let me know if you think that they're going to actually arrest and convict anybody. Are more arrests coming? Let me know if you heard any theories about why this even happened in the first place. It's your man, OG Bo Beats, man. I'm out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share the video. I'm out. Peace.